Welcome to the 109th Minute Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Dyer. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're on the live stream, drop a comment, say hello, let us know you're out there. If you are listening to this at a future date, still feel free to message us and let us know that you're listening. We really appreciate it. So, we've got a lot to talk about this week, believe it or not. I know there's no soccer and no team yet, but things are still happening. Your local supporter group has its new leadership council in place. There has already been a meeting. People are in their jobs, and there are things in the works. Finally, we've got merch on the way. We've got some good news about membership. Over 100 members have signed up for the year without soccer. And over, I think, 89 of them are the full paid members for Scarf and everything. So we really appreciate everyone who has signed up for a membership this year. That support is so important for us to be able to get where we want to be next year. This year is so critical. So I just wanted to start the stream and the pod by saying thank you to everybody who has signed up. And if you haven't, please do. We are talking shirts and sweatshirts and more stickers and more merch. There's a lot of stuff we want to do this year, getting ready for next season. And these memberships are a big part of us being able to achieve those goals. So, but enough of that. Let's bring on producer John Cross. How was that? How was my pitch there, John? How was my pitch? That was a cold open with a hard sell. How was that?
That was good. I'm not actually impressed. I am impressed that we have over 100 members so far. Like you said, with no team, memberships only open a week, and that's really exciting because we were, well, I wouldn't say holding our breath, but we were waiting to see how many people might sign up because it's a year with no soccer, and we are planning on doing events and getting geared up and ready for 2025, but it was hard to know, or hard to gauge, I guess, what the response was going to be. But in what are we, 10-ish days since we opened up memberships,
Mm-hmm.
we have over 100 so far. So that is fantastic. As Andrew said, it allows us to plan and start getting things going. And like Andrew said, there's merch stuff that's planned and some events that are going to be not just SDFC events, but locals events that are in the works. So we're really excited to finally hit the ground running. And as you said, we had a first leadership council meeting. So how was your very first leadership council meeting, Andrew?
Well, I'm not sure. Have you ever been in a Zoom call before in a meeting? Much like you may have done for your job for work, I think it was very similar. You have people on mute. People can't figure out how to raise their hands. I'm not pointing out anybody specifically. I was looking for the hand raise button myself a time or two because for some reason, no matter how many times I use it, I still am like, oh wait, how do I raise my hand again? So yeah, it was great. I think it went a little longer than we anticipated, but there was a lot to talk about, a lot to get through, a lot of business. If anybody looked at the org chart that John posted in the Discord, or did that come out in the email? Either way, there were some important jobs that had to be. We needed people in those seats so that we could move forward. Jobs like comms and the finance part, treasury and president and all that. So, yeah, John, what did you want to go ahead and do the rundown? Let us know who is the new duly elected president of the locals anyway.
All right, so we went through the leadership council last time, I believe, or maybe the time before, since we only had 15 people running for 15 positions. But at the last leadership council meeting, we elected the new executive council, and that's the president, CEO, secretary, and treasurer. So Steve Brokoff is once again our president, our one and only president we have ever had since we started as an SG. So
Where's he
congratulations to
at
Steve
in, like,
for
how many FDRs is that? This is his third term.
third term, but we've changed the terms. They were 2-year terms
Okay.
before, and now everything's a 1-year term. So Steve is president, and the CEO is me, John Cross. Secretary is Kim Dace, and the treasurer. And thankfully, someone did step up at the meeting. Alicia Staley is our treasurer right now, and we have a few more people that are part of our fiscal team. So that's, on my end, very exciting news that we have some people who are dedicated to focusing on that part of the business end of running the supporter group.
God bless him,
So
because
those were
I didn't want to do that.
right. Those were the 4 executive council positions, and then our key ops positions. Director of events will be Nick Duffy. Memberships will be Tay again, Taylor Womble-Dahl. Comms is going to be Dylan Wilson, and also Drew Steck and Espen Carell will be working closely with Dylan in comms, because that's a pretty big and broad umbrella there for communications. And merch will be Lydia Brokoff. Those are our key positions so far, and we are looking to round out even more specific roles as we move forward over the next few weeks and couple of months.
Specifically, I want to kind of put it out there, because this is a role that we didn't fill. This falls under comms, and I don't think I'm stepping too outside of bounds here, but I believe there is a social media role that is not limited to members of leadership. Now, I understand how much work social media can be. So I don't think we want the comms director also being in charge of social. I think that's kind of how it's run before, but social is a lot of work, posting cross-platform, making sure the messaging is consistent across these platforms, making sure that I mean, that's the bare minimum, right? Perfect world preference. It'd be great if somebody understood, like, how to talk on the various platforms, right? You don't post on Facebook the same way you post on Twitter and so forth. But listen, I'm not too concerned about all that. If anybody is interested in social, wants to see what it's like to run an organization's social channels, it is much different than running your personal social media. You might be surprised to find out, but it is a lot of fun, and you really kind of get to be the voice of the SG, more so than lowly podcast host, because that really is where most people are going to engage with the SG, especially people outside of the SG. So yeah, that's an open call, an open invitation. If you've got some interest there, that is a very, very important role, especially. And I keep saying this stuff every week, so bear with me if you've heard this several times, but this year is so critical, so important. And these public facing communication roles with, social media, with the tabling stuff we're going to be doing, are just super important for getting us to where we want to be next year. So if you are interested, those positions are available, and we would love to have more people and new people kind of come on board. It'd be awesome.
We'd love to have enough people that we could really get a single person to dedicate to a single platform, with someone also maybe coordinating to make sure we're getting clear message out. That way, again, one person doesn't have to do 6, 7 different platforms trying to get the message out, or making sure different things get posted on different social media platforms. But it is hugely important for us to
Yeah,
help
I need
have
somebody
that
who's good at Truth
public-facing
Social.
piece.
If you know how to send out a truth, please let us know. We got to make sure our Truth Social public facing is just right. Sorry, I interrupted you,
Yeah, I'm not
John.
even
I
touching that one.
apologize.
But that's just one example of the many different possibilities we have to get involved. And we have a I think about, Andrew and I were talking about this before the show, about a 10-week window to really kind of ramp things up, because we have some Chrome Ball tour dates and some other locals events that will be happening coming up soon. But then there's the month of April right now. There's no Chrome Ball tour dates set up. So we kind of have these 6 to 10 weeks to kind of get as many things in place as possible, because right now I doubt we'll get a whole lot of people sign up for memberships here. We're still so far away from the season, but part of it is the awareness of being out these events and generate some interest and some awareness of the group. And once we start hitting, I think May, and we start heading into summer, is going to be the crucial time period to really recruit, because once we hit next fall, it's really gearing up for 2025 once we hit the fall. So um, we want to get as many people kind of looped in and helping us out and get that solid foundation so we can really hit the ground running, like we have more than 100 memberships right here in the first 10 days. So we just want to keep that momentum going.
Now, and for these members, like we mentioned earlier, most of them, the vast majority, are full scarf members. We'll be getting the new scarf, but the new scarf isn't the only piece of merch that is in the works right now. We're really excited to have some new shirts and maybe even sweatshirts coming through. Check the Discord in the SDFC channel. Right now, there is a very informal poll. Lydia Brokoff, she, as John mentioned, is running the merch, and officially now. I know she did a lot of work with merch before anyway, but you know, I think with this first round of shirts, what the discussion has been, and this came up, believe it or not, in the meeting when they said, "Is there something we need to talk about?" I was the first person to raise my hand. I did find the button fast enough, and I said, "Merch. We need new shirts. We need SDFC focused SG shirts. We gotta get some fresh merch out there to get people excited about this thing." And I think that pretty much monopolized the whole meeting for about the next hour. um, and it's I talk about it on the pod. I brought it up in the meeting because I do think it's true. So good news that is coming. But for this first round, I think we're looking at doing some pre-orders instead of just buying them and holding on to inventory. So jump on Discord, let her know you're interested, and those pre-orders should be coming fairly soon because they're pre-orders. We don't have to like pay for them. This is all prepaid, so that's coming. I haven't seen the design yet, but this is kind of the first stage in getting there. On the merch, to follow that, there is still merch available, older merch. There's a bunch of the locals Black Lives Matter shirts that are still available. These are kind of team neutral. If you
Right.
if you look at them a certain way, they do have green, but they're pretty team neutral. I think the message still resonates with a lot of members, and those are still available. I think there's some 3Xs. There's a lot of larges and maybe a few smaller sizes, but we'd love to get that inventory cleared to make room for some. We do want to have some sort of merch inventory to bring to these Chrome Ball events, so, because people might be interested in them. People could sign up on the spot, and it'd be great to have some stuff for them. But to have it, we gotta move this other stuff. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get another shirt. I've need a new size now, so that will be. Let's see if I can squeeze into a large. Might be ambitious, but I'm gonna get one, and I encourage everybody else to get going because I want new shirts, and like I don't get them until we until we get through this. So help me out.
Yeah, and to go back to what you were saying about Discord, there are going to be most likely a lot more informal polls in Discord and some ideas thrown out to see what people are interested in. So we want to make sure we spend our money wisely this year as we're moving forward, since it's different. We don't have that team in 2024. So if you're not on Discord yet, but you are listening to the pod, or maybe a new member and you haven't joined Discord yet, or an old member just never were on Discord, I really encourage you to get on there, because that's where the newest information will be. That's where the polls will be. We will not likely put that stuff out on social media, because then you just get trolls and everybody else, that start commenting. Now on social media, they'll probably say, hey, go check Discord for some information, but make sure that you're checking Discord and you're in there and stay up with the current conversations, especially if you want to give some input on what some of that merch might look like. And also, to go back to needing help, I'm sure we'll be looking for some Discord moderators as well, especially as we grow. So if that's something you like doing, you should.
This is where the real power lies.
Director,
the mods
of membership. I know it is with the mods.
Yeah.
Reach out to Tay and maybe we can find a spot for you to help out and be a moderator somewhere, or help out in some other capacity as we're moving forward here.
Yeah, the I've always wanted to be a mod, and I did, years ago. This is a decade ago. I helped manage a very large Facebook page. This was kind of, well, I had a group too, but kind of before, if you remember the old Facebook, before they really emphasized groups, they had pages.
Right.
Like it would be like a Facebook page, you'd follow somebody you liked or whatever. And I was an admin for a very large Facebook page. I'm talking like 50, 60,000 followers, likes, or whatever, people on the page. Got a lot of engagement, a lot of comments. And let me tell you, never before and not since have I ever felt as powerful and godlike as when I could just ban somebody or like remove their comment. I could hide their comment and they wouldn't even know that nobody else could see it. And like you start to play these little games with people, like they keep commenting and like nobody's responding to them. They don't know that they're like shadow banned, and you're just sitting back there, with your big cigar and your big command center, laughing and laughing at your ability to just. Anyway, we need mods, and if you want
not
to,
you, right? We need.
If you want to feel, if you want a little taste of that, little something, not since have I ever had that, and it's great. It's great. In all seriousness, it is an important job because, there's a few people on Discord. I won't say who. Some people who can get a little carried away at times. Some people like to argue. Me, and we always need people in there with a level head to, help keep things community focused and civil.
To help moderate the conversation.
Yeah, not shadow ban. We don't play those games. But I will say that, Zuckerberg and his whole evil team at Facebook, they ruined it. They've switched the focus to groups. Once they added the ability to reply individually to comments, really, really messed up the whole game. And I'm talking 2013 timeframe here for reference here. But, for one shining moment, it was a very perfect platform for all kinds of like online shenanigans. But those days are gone. John, you want to pull me out of my reverie? Do we have current things to talk about? I think there's a couple of Chromeball dates, including this Saturday.
Chromeball tour this Saturday in Poway, February 17th. So it'll be at North County Soccer Park. It's going to be from 12:30 to 5:30. If you've been to any of the other events, it'll be a similar kind of format from what I understand. There will be merch, and there will be music, and there will be soccer tournaments, some small-sided games. Not sure, the numbers I thought I saw were a little bit higher. They might be doing like some 5v5 and 6v6 things in some groups instead of smaller like 3v3 type things. So that will go on again at North County Soccer Park in Poway. And then we have, let's see, it's the last one for February. In March, there's going to be an event March 2nd in Santee and another one in Carlsbad, but that date is yet to be determined. And then we get a little break, at least the way the schedule is right now, in April with no events, and then like 3 in May. So we really kind of hit the ground running once May comes around.
So these will be kind of the real first opportunities, if you haven't made it out to one, to come out and engage with the new club, catch up with some old faces, and start to kind of make these connections. This is the community that we always talk about. This is the community that we wanted to preserve, and having the locals persevere into this new club. We are getting there. Obviously, the podcast has a new name, has a new look. Our social media profile pictures and banners have new artwork as well. So we are well on the way, and I hope that these changes, as we make them, are helping everybody transition along with us. I know that it hasn't always been easy. If you follow this podcast and listen to it, you got to watch John and I go through it. So we all went through it, and I do hope that what we're doing now is helpful to y'all, and I hope that more of y'all come around. And I think this next year is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's the hard sell, but I think once we get going, it's going to be hard to stay away, because it's a whole other ball game supporting MLS supporter culture, and the end of that stadium is going to be raucous and rocking, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think after there's these Chrome balls coming up in June, and that will be kind of the big push into next season. So by then, I think we will have shirts and other merch available. So jump in Discord and let us know what you want, because right now we are pre-decision time, right? Like, you have time and space
Right.
to influence this decision.
Yes, definitely. And again, get in Discord, comment. There's a poll went up today, kind of just an informal, simple poll where you're just responding with emotes. So get in there, give feedback, so we can start making some of these. Well, not start making some of these decisions, start pulling the trigger on some of these decisions, so we actually can get the merch ordered, get it in people's hands so they can start wearing it. But there's some big plans. I haven't seen everything. I've seen some ideas of things that people are talking about who are on those various committees, but lots of things coming, and we'd really like as many people to get involved as possible. So again, reach out to anyone, or I will be at the event on Poway. If you're going to be there, I'll probably be talking to a whole bunch of you who are there, and see if I can tap some people on the shoulder and get them roped in to helping in with something a little bit.
So it's 8:25 right now. I do want to plug the locals gaming league. The Rocket League team is going to kick off at 8:30. They're playing the Timbers Army team. I don't know if you're watching this on stream. You must like watching streams. Guess what? These streams are very entertaining. I know it's gaming. I am not a person that watches gaming streams, but Rocket League, it really is like a spectator sport. There is a lot of drama in these matches. Last week, some very close matches. The team ended up losing their series against I can't even remember who they were playing last week, but
Emerald City.
It was very close. I think most of the matches went to overtime. They were all just golden goal games, and it was really tense and a lot of fun to watch. So I think we are going to try to get out of here so that we can also watch this stream. So, John, do you have any parting business? We will be back next week, but in the meantime, what do people need to know?
Actually, sorry, I think my connection is a little choppy, so I didn't quite hear all that, but I'm guessing you asked if there's anything I want to add, and I don't think there's anything else we need to get to. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me at John Cross at Discord.
This is a professional podcaster, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. I was breaking up, and he still knew exactly what I had asked him. This is the type of quality that you get from the 109th Minute Podcast. We hope you join us next week. Thank you so much for watching the stream, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
All right, bye.